Hey guys, what's up? It's Heather Grant, and today I'm going to be talking about living in crisis mode or peace mode. And it seems that this is something that I've seen come up a lot lately, and I wanted to address. So we all have this desire to live in a peaceful mode, right? I really believe that as people, we want to be peaceful and happy and live in that joyful mode. But what I see happening is that a lot of people are spending time in crisis mode, like all of the time in crisis mode, and they kind of go from one crisis to another crisis. And I see this as a problem with my generation, the generation that has gone, that's before me, and then the generation that's coming up, where we have a whole group of people are living in crisis mode. And I wanted to give you some examples of what is happening and then what we can do to counteract that. So one of the things that I see happening would be that people are not self-reliant, and I would include myself into this, that we're not as self-reliant as we need to be. We see this happening with money, right? Everybody knows that their rent or their mortgage is due on the first of the month, and yet when the first of the month rolls around, a lot of people are in crisis mode and they don't have the money to be able to meet their bills. I see a lot of this in my work, right, where people want to buy an essential oil kit and they have the perfect kit picked out, but they can't purchase it until payday. And I'm thinking, you don't even have $100 in your account, right? And no judgment, because I've been there, but I see this crisis mode of people are not saving what they earn. And so then when a crisis, rolls around, there's a financial thing that happens, or they lose their job, they end up in a crisis mode. So we see this with finances all of the time, where people are not, putting money away for a rainy day. They're not saving. They're just spending frivolously, using credit cards and things like that. So they're in crisis mode. We see this with religion, right? Everybody went to church after 9/11. Everybody was praying and reading scriptures because we were in a crisis as the American people, right? But on a day-to-day basis, when people have peaceful, joyful, happy lives and things are going good, a lot of times people aren't remembering God, right? We don't pray until we're in the middle of a crisis. When someone gets sick, or someone gets cancer, or someone is, dying or on death's bed, then that's when we suddenly turn to God and pray, when we haven't been doing that on a regular daily basis. And so we see this happen a lot with religion, where in the normal heat, day-to-day things, we're not reading our scriptures, we're not saying our prayers, right? We're waiting until we're in that crisis mode to do something about it. We see it with food and nutrition, right? People eat sugars and fats and all sorts of unhealthy processed food, and then they end up obese, and they end up with all of these health concerns, right? We end up with diabetes and high cholesterol and high blood pressure and sleep problems and all of these health problems that could have been avoided. We end up with these crises that could have been avoided if we would have eaten right and exercised and taken care of our bodies in that peaceful, joyful mode. And so one of the things that I want to encourage you guys to do, and one of the things that I want to talk about on this video, is living self-reliant lives, being self-reliant and having that peaceful mode, right? We all know that at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock tonight, we're going to need to feed our families dinner. And so at 8 o'clock in the morning, or 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the morning, we need to be thinking about, what are we going to feed our family for dinner? Not waiting until we're in a crisis to suddenly realize, oh, I got to make my family dinner, right? We all know it's coming. We don't wait until company shows up to frantically clean our house, right? Let's do that on a daily basis. So I wanted to talk about how this applies to essential oils, because I see this happening all of the time, and I want to address it. So one of the things that I see from my healthcare profession, people that I work with, the clients that I work with, is that what happens a lot of the time is that people buy a kit of essential oils. They buy, 10 basic essential oils, and they put those on the shelf, and they leave them on the shelf until there's a crisis, until they're in crisis mode. When their child is got the stomach flu and puking up all over the house, then that's when they suddenly go, oh, I've got essential oils, I need to grab my Digest Zen. Versus if they would have been putting On Guard on their child every single day, that child might not have gotten sick in the first place. I see it with moms who are dealing with, children with tantrums, right? They wait until that child is having a screaming fit at 3 o'clock in the afternoon to suddenly remember, oh, I've got, Balance or Serenity or Peace that I can grab and put on my child. Versus how much better off would they have been if they would have started off the day by putting essential oils on that child with the tantrum, right? I see it with people who deal with anxiety and depression, right? They wait until they're in that horrible panic attack, feeling horrible mood to reach for, a citrus bliss or a cheer or a peace instead of putting them on in the first place. And so one of the things that I want to encourage you guys to do, and this is in all areas of your life, finances, religion, food, and essential oils, because that's what I specialize in, is do not live in crisis mode. You guys, you have these amazing tools. You have essential oils that you can be using every single day to start your day, to help so that you don't end up in that crisis, or you don't have as many crises, right? Now, we're all gonna have crisis in life, right? That's part of this life. We're gonna have problems, we're gonna have trials, we're gonna have hard things that we have to deal with. That's a given. But we can limit the amount of crisis that we have in our lives if we do a little bit of groundwork, right? If we're self-reliant and we prepare. One of the things that I would encourage you guys to do is to prepare and to live your life in a self-reliant zone, in that peaceful state. Save enough money for your rent because it's due the same time every single month. Think about what you're going to feed your family for dinner before 5 or 6 o'clock at night. Pray. Start your day off by saying a prayer of gratitude to God. Start your day off by pulling out your scriptures and reading a scripture to uplift you, because you guys, during and throughout your day, you're going to have hard stuff hit. Every single person is going to have hard things come their way during the day. Let's spiritually prepare ourselves at the beginning of the day so that when those bad things, crisis modes happen, we can still stand in a place of peace and know that we're good with God because we talked to him at the beginning of the day. Don't wait until 4 o'clock when that trauma hits before you reach out to God and ask him for help. Start by asking for that help and being grateful for your blessings at the beginning of the day. You guys, start out your day by eating a healthy breakfast, by taking your lifelong vitality supplements, so that when 3 o'clock rolls around, you have the energy to keep on and to press on and to do the things that need to get done. Put the oils in the diffuser in the beginning of the morning. Put those oils over your heart or on the bottoms of your feet and prepare yourself so that when the crap hits the wall, you can still stand in a place of peace and happiness and you don't have to even go to that crisis mode. Use essential oils every single day with yourself, with your family, with your children, so that you don't get sick in the first place, so that you don't end up in that place of crisis. So my challenge for you guys today is to live in a peaceful mode as much and as often as you can. We're all gonna have trials, we're all gonna have crisis. Just because you say your prayer doesn't mean you're not gonna have things go wrong in your life. But if we live in a place of peace and self-reliance and we prepare, that is gonna really limit the number of times that we're in crisis throughout the day and in our lives. You guys, live in a place of self-reliance. Use your essential oils, use prayer, save your money, eat healthy now so that you can avoid the crises and the crap that will happen later, guaranteed, if you're not living from a place of self-reliance. You guys, have a great day. Love you all. Challenges. Live in a place of self-reliance. Pull out those oils and use them now. Don't wait till you get in crisis mode. Bye, guys.